Everyone keeps telling you to be realistic, but what if being realistic is exactly what's been holding you back? What if the limits you see around you aren't real at all, but programmed into your mind so you'd never question them? That feeling deep down, the one that says you're meant for more, that life isn't supposed to feel this small, it's not your imagination. It's your real identity trying to wake up. You weren't born to hustle, suffer and die with potential still locked inside. You were born with a force most people never access. The ability to command your energy, shape your frequency, and expand your consciousness. Not with tricks, not with wishful thinking, but with real, practical awareness of how your mind and energy create reality. In this video, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm here to show you how to take back control, starting from the source of your power. And once we go there, the old story about being just human won't stand a chance. 1. The lie of limitation. Most people go through life believing they're just a product of their upbringing, their education, and their environment. That belief becomes a mental prison. When someone hears, "You're only human," they absorb the idea that they're meant to struggle, to shrink, to settle. But here's the truth, that's not a fact, it's conditioning. And conditioning can be broken the moment you question where it came from and why it was placed there in the first place. They've been handed a script since childhood, one that says, be realistic, stay safe, know your place. That script isn't written in stone. It was handed down by people who were also conditioned, stuck in survival mode, unaware of their own inner power. But once you start reading between the lines of your life, you'll notice something. Every time you played small, it wasn't your soul doing that. It was fear. It was programming. The problem is that most people never stop to ask, who gave me this definition of myself? They just wear it like a second skin. But those who begin to wake up, even just a little, feel something inside, pulling them beyond the noise. That quiet nudge, that subtle discomfort when you're not being who you really are, that's your higher self calling. And the more you listen, the more the old lies start to fall apart. Let's get real. Limitation only exists if you agree to it. It's like being in a cage with the door wide open. No one's stopping you from walking out except the belief that you can't. Start small. Say no to one thing that drains you. Say yes to one thing that scares you, and you'll feel it, the spark. That moment of choosing your power over your programming. And when that moment hits, something else starts to stir beneath the surface. 2. Energy is your true nature. The body you see in the mirror is just the surface. What's really animating you is energy, pure and powerful. You're not a machine running on meat and bones. You're a frequency-based being, constantly vibrating and transmitting signals into the field around you. And that field, it's not just some mystical concept, it's the invisible blueprint that responds to who you believe you are. Every time you think, feel, or even breathe with intention, you're altering the vibration you emit. Your energy is your true identity. And once you realize this, everything you've been taught about being limited starts to collapse. Science is starting to catch up with what ancient mystics already knew. Quantum physics shows that atoms, what we're made of, are mostly empty space, filled with vibration and motion. You're literally not solid. That thing you've called you is energy in constant interaction with the universe. The frequency you hold is like a tuning fork. If you vibrate in fear, you attract chaos. If you vibrate in peace, you influence calm. This isn't theory. It's observable, repeatable, and personal. You've already seen it when you walked into a room and felt the vibe without anyone saying a word. Energy doesn't lie. People may say they're fine, but their frequency tells the truth. You felt drained after talking to someone, even though they smiled the whole time. That's not coincidence. That's energy exchange. You've also met someone who lit up the whole room without trying. Again, that's frequency. When you take responsibility for your own energy, your whole life begins to shift. It's no longer about what happens to you. It's about what you're projecting into the field that shapes what comes back. So what can you do with this truth? Start noticing the signals you're sending. Pay attention to how your body reacts to people, music, environments. That tightness in your chest? That's not just stress, it's feedback from your energy system. You can shift it by moving, breathing deeply, or simply stepping into nature barefoot and letting the earth recalibrate your frequency. Your energy isn't random, it's responsive, and the more aware you are of it, the more you can begin to consciously direct it toward a higher level of experience. 3. Your emotions create your frequency. You've probably heard people say raise your vibe or good vibes only, but here's the thing, they're not just cute phrases. Your emotions are literally frequencies. Each feeling you experience sends out a vibrational signal into your environment. When you're angry or anxious, your energy contracts. It becomes heavier, more chaotic. And guess what? Life responds. You miss opportunities, people misunderstand you, and everything starts to feel like a struggle. On the flip side, when you feel gratitude or joy, your frequency expands. Suddenly, the right people and synchronicities seem to find you without effort. Think of yourself as a magnet. The emotions you feel most often become your dominant frequency, and that's what shapes your day-to-day reality. If you constantly feel resentment or worry, your life will reflect more situations to validate those emotions. But if you make a practice out of feeling appreciation, even in the smallest moments, you start creating a new, energetic baseline. You begin to notice little wins, smoother conversations, and a sense of clarity that didn't exist before. It's not magic. It's emotional alignment with a higher frequency. Let's bring this into something practical. Start your day by tuning your emotional state like a musician tunes their instrument. 1 minute of intentional breathing while feeling genuine appreciation for anything, a warm cup of coffee, the sound of birds, your heartbeat, is enough to set a frequency that echoes into everything else you do. If you catch yourself spiraling later in the day, pause and recalibrate. Music helps, movement helps, laughter, gratitude journaling, and even hugging someone you love. All of it shifts the frequency in real time. This isn't about faking happiness or suppressing what's real. It's about learning to observe your emotional patterns and understanding they're not just reactions, they're creative forces. Emotions are the language of energy. And the more fluently you speak that language, the more control you have over the tone and texture of your life. You don't have to wait for life to give you a reason to feel good. You choose the feeling first, and the reality will follow. And once that clicks, the way you look at consciousness begins to change. 4. The inner prism of consciousness. Your mind isn't just a processor of information, it's a prism that bends the light of your awareness. Whatever enters it, thoughts, memories, beliefs, gets filtered and refracted into the reality you experience. Imagine someone who constantly believes they're unlucky. Even when good things happen, they find a way to downplay or distrust it. That's not because of fate. That's because of the angle of their mental prism. The mind doesn't just reflect the world, it shapes it through the lens of your beliefs and expectations. Think of consciousness like light entering a crystal. Depending on the cut and angle, that light can turn into vibrant colors or dull shadows. Your mind works the same way. If your internal filters are filled with fear, guilt, or scarcity, then even the most neutral situation can feel threatening or discouraging. But when those filters are cleared through self-awareness, what comes out is clarity, insight, and possibility. You start to see things not as they are, but as you are. And that shift changes everything. You can begin adjusting your inner prism right now by questioning your automatic thoughts. When something upsets you, ask, is this really happening, or is this just my angle? That simple pause invites consciousness into the moment. Reading books that challenge your worldview, like The Power of Now or The Untethered Soul, can also help sharpen your prism. They don't give you answers, they stretch your perception. And when perception expands, so does the field of what's possible. This is why the most successful, peaceful people all seem to live in a different reality, because they actually do. Their prism is angled toward truth, not illusion. They don't deny challenges, but they see through them. They choose to filter light, not distortion. And when you start bending your awareness toward a higher frequency, something else becomes possible: direct control over the vibration you emit to the world. 5. Mastering vibrational control. Controlling your frequency isn't a mystical gift. It's a skill. Just like lifting weights builds muscle, conscious habits build vibrational strength. Breathwork is one of the simplest and most powerful tools. Slow, deep inhales signal safety to your nervous system. That alone raises your frequency. Visualization is another. Imagine light radiating from your chest, expanding with every breath. It might sound subtle, but your energy field responds immediately. You're not pretending. You're practicing energetic alignment on purpose. It's not about high vibes only. That mindset creates pressure and fake positivity. Instead, it's about tuning in. Like adjusting a radio, you find the station that matches the reality you want to live. Some days you'll be dialed into peace. Other days, static will show up, and that's okay. You don't fix the static by forcing the signal. You shift with intention. Tools like sound frequencies, 400-222 Tate's music, calming color palettes in your environment, or even grounding exercises like walking barefoot help reattune your field. Want an easy practice to start with? Create a 5-minute morning ritual. Sit quietly, hands over your heart, and breathe deeply while thinking of one thing you're genuinely thankful for. Then set an intention. Something like, "I radiate calm strength today." That short window sets your tone, and once you feel how quickly your inner frequency affects your outer experience, you'll never underestimate the power you carry again. You're no longer waiting for peace. You're generating it. And the more consistent this practice becomes, the more you'll see how reality bends around you. It's subtle at first, a smoother conversation, an unexpected solution, an opportunity that seems random, but it's not random at all. It's resonance. Life is matching your signal, and once you realize you're not a slave to the chaos around you, but a transmitter of your own reality, something deeper begins to wake up, your connection to the collective field that's constantly listening. 6. You affect the collective field. You're not a separate unit moving through life in a bubble. You're a signal tower. Everything you think, feel, and intend ripples out into the quantum field. Even when you're silent, your frequency is speaking. Ever walk into a room and instantly feel tension, or meet someone whose presence calms you without a word? That's not just intuition. It's energetic data being exchanged. You are both receiving and transmitting at all times, and your field is part of a greater network of human consciousness. This means your personal evolution isn't just about you. It's about all of us. When you raise your frequency, you uplift the field. When you lower it, you contribute to the collective noise. That's not to shame you, it's to wake you up. Your choices matter on a much bigger scale than you've been told. Choosing kindness when it's easier to be cold, breathing through stress instead of reacting, or even practicing forgiveness. These are energetic upgrades, not just for you, but for everyone who feels your presence. Think of it like a ripple in a still lake. A single shift in your energy, like feeling genuine compassion for someone who hurt you, sends out waves that touch people you may never meet. Studies have shown that focused meditation by groups can reduce crime and violence in a city. This isn't spiritual fluff. It's measurable change through frequency. You are influencing the field whether you're conscious of it or not. So why not do it deliberately? Why not choose to be a transmitter of clarity instead of chaos? When you truly understand this, personal responsibility takes on a whole new meaning. You stop playing victim and start showing up as a contributor. You're not powerless. You're a participant in the shaping of human evolution, and once this awareness becomes your baseline, something even deeper reveals itself. That not only are you connected to others, but you've also been carrying unseen weight that needs to be cleared. And that weight lives in the shadow. 7. Shadow integration and protection. Here's the truth most spiritual content skips. Your light can't shine fully if you're still running from your shadow. That's the part of you you've been hiding, the guilt, the anger, the unprocessed pain. But ignoring it doesn't dissolve it. It leaks into your energy field and distorts your frequency. You might be doing breath work, meditating, even saying affirmations, but if your shadow is unacknowledged, it will pull you back into cycles of sabotage. You can't bypass the darkness. You have to face it, understand it, and integrate it. Facing your shadow doesn't mean drowning in trauma. It means being radically honest about your pattern. For example, if you're constantly feeling unworthy, where did that belief come from? Who told you that your value had to be earned? Journaling is a powerful tool here. Write the ugliest thought you have about yourself and look at it, not to judge it, but to understand its root. You'll start to realize that most of these beliefs aren't even yours. They were installed. And what's installed can be uninstalled. But integration isn't just inner work. It's also about energetic protection. In a world full of noise, you need to protect your frequency like it's gold. Start your day with a mental shield. Visualize a sphere of golden light surrounding your body, repelling anything that isn't yours. It's not fantasy. It's energetic hygiene. Just like you wash your body, you cleanse your energy, smudging, salt baths, spending time in nature, or simply spending time alone in silence. These are ways to stabilize your field and clear what's not yours. The more grounded and protected you become, the stronger your inner light grows. And the shadow doesn't disappear. It becomes your strength. What once caused shame now becomes a source of compassion and wisdom. You realize you're not broken, you're layered, and within those layers there's a frequency you've barely begun to explore. That's where your real consciousness starts to awaken, not just as a concept, but as a living force moving through everything you are. If you want to elevate your vibrations and manifest with more ease, I have prepared something special for you. Click the link in the first pinned comment and join us in the journey of awakening your inner mage.